Alright, so this is this is the continuation of Doom Eternal. I did some battle mode and some horde just for fun, just to see what they're about. And after doing battle mode and horde, um, just to see what they're about, especially horde, I could thoroughly say it's quite interesting because you're seeing things from the point of view of the demons as well, not just the Doomslayer. So hordes, you could pick any demons you want. You could summon, you could transport, you can't use pads and grappling hooks and stuff like that, but they have unique um, assets that comes with them. It's not just about fighting and using the demon's capabilities, but summoning, healing, blocking, resource pulls, that type of stuff. So in consideration for the horde mode, I'm going to give horde mode just another point, just for its unique perspective, not just for it being horde mode, but it's for its unique gameplay style with regards to. Actually, I'll give it 2 points because you're not just playing against another player. You have the ability of two players versus the Doomslayer. So it's two players versus Doomslayer. Though it seems kind of an unfair advantage, two players trying to kill the Doomslayer, the the two players are actually more at a disadvantage than the Doomslayer because the Doomslayer could have different weapons, and specifically the demons are weak towards. The Doomslayer can do glory kills, and the Doomslayer has fast traversal. So it would be unfair to just have one demon fight the Doomslayer in summoning because he's so powerful. So that's why I'm giving it 2 points for Horde. For battle mode, I'm just going to give 1 point because not everyone knows how to do battle mode that well. So yeah, so before I would say I would set a standard of 8. Every time I drop it down to 7.9 to 8, I would say I'm now at 8.3 with regards to the game. So at standing, I would say with horde mode having 2 points and battle mode having an extra point. I already gave battle mode a point for it, but an extra point. I would say the game is, in my opinion, being critical of everything I'm seeing. Tutorials, customizations, more like 8.4, not 8.3, because you could change your decals, you could change your design of your weapons, your skin of your weapons while you're in combat. They're not things that you could only do in certain mode. You could play in the game for whatever style you want. You have collections and other stuff. So far the game's at 8.4, and of course I already gave it points for its perks and for its cheats. So far the game's at 8.4. In my opinion, based on the fun factor, based on the uniqueness of the game, and of course, ancient gods. Some enemies from ancient gods show up in horde mode, so that's a considerable difficulty add towards the horde mode. So that's why I have it at a 8.4. That and battle mode both at 8.4. But if I was to take ancient gods out of it, it would still be at 8.4, simply because of the unique funny stuff it has in the game. Like you could have demon dogs, when you get an achievement, and then you have like ketchup and mustard being your presented front standing little character, not emos but placards or platform presentation, platform designs, and also decals. And those are nice little additive things, which all take time to do. Not so much the coloring, but the modeling of, like say, pillars to look like hot dogs, and then or enemies to look like hot dogs, and then pillars and stuff to be shaped and sculpted to look like utilities, containers with regards to ketchup and mustard, utensils, condiments, yeah. So all these little things are nice little perk added. That's why I have it at 8.4. They all added up to that 8.4. I believe I'm at the halfway point in the game. I believe I had made a mistake with regards to certain things, which is the millstones or milestones. I believe I had in the campaign I had 49 to go, or 49 missions. That's not what that meant. The 49 means 49 achievements, not 49 levels. So that was my mistake with regards to understanding how many levels I have to play in the game. So with that said, I beat several bosses. I beat Marauder, I beat Doom Hunter, I beat the Gladiator. I believe Arachnotron was, well, I don't think he was a boss, but then I beat Archvile boss and one other boss I don't remember. So that's 5 bosses. So I believe I'm past the halfway point in the game. If I'm either 4 or 5 bosses, so I'm past the halfway point in the game. And knowing now what I know, and not considering milestones because I was wrong in that, knowing I'm past the halfway point in the game, I would say I could fully classify Doom as the most I could see Doom being is mid-8s to high 8s before the game is over. And if I throw in Ancient Gods, it will be low 9s. But if I was to consider Doom Eternal in comparison to Doom 2016, I still think Doom 2016 is slightly better, simply because it had more, not because it had more things to do, it just had a better feel with regards to progression and unlockables and enemies to fight and levels, and it didn't have that much annoying things. Or maybe my assessment was for Doom 2016 was a little off, and those things were present there. But it all depends on coming towards the end of the game. If the end of the game it's in the low 9s, then it'll be on par with that of Doom 2016, which I placed in the low 9s as well. So I believe before this game is over, it might be in the low 9s. For right now, I'm at an 8.4. I am past the halfway point. The millstone thing had nothing to do with 49 levels. It just had to do with millstones I achieved. So I am past the halfway point now. A little bit above the halfway point, to be honest with you. So 5 bosses I believe I defeated, and now I continue the campaign. I'm not sure about this level because I played some of it yesterday. If I don't pass this area, I'll just continue it tomorrow. Because this is really hard. I believe this area is really hard. Oh shit. Yeah, this area is no joke, because it's coming towards the end. So yeah, I was mistaken my assessment to where I was in the game, and I believe I'm past the halfway point. I might be at the 75% marker. I still haven't fought the Icon of Sin and the final boss. So, but I'm getting close to the Icon of Sin, so I know I'm at the 75% marker. So this area does not play, regardless of what mode you're on. I believe this might be the hardest area I've ever fought before. So I'm going to try to keep it quiet and concentrate. If I don't beat this, I'll just pick this up tomorrow. Because this is, I think I died like 20 times yesterday to this area. I think this area is stronger than a boss fight. Yeah, I gotta concentrate more and stop playing like a noob. I gotta have everything set up, everything in place before I enter this area. And I can't completely depend on slow motion. I have to move fast at all times. Never mind. I was just playing like a noob yesterday. I wasn't going all hardcore. I think I was just... either I was out of my elements or I was just relaxing. But if you go super hard, and if you use all your weapons, yeah, they can't do anything. So I must have been out of my elements yesterday. Oh shit. Uh. Oh hi. Uh. There's a crucible. I'm doing okay. I'm past the 75% marker, or at the 75% marker on the game. This is just for evaluation purposes and proceeding forward. This is my first time. This is my first time playing this game. First time evaluating the game. So I haven't beaten the game, no. I played a portion of it in the past, but I never got to the 25% marker. Or I did, but I never got to the halfway marker. So I never really finished the game. Yes, this is my first time trying to complete the game. So, as an evaluation of this game, it's in the mid-8s for me right now. And towards the end of the game, it might get to the low 9s or mid-9s, depending on how fun the Horde mode is, because I already gave you 2 points in how fun battle mode is. So if I continue Horde, and Horde continues to be fun, I will give it additional 1 more point. So yes, this game might be in the low 9s territory, high 8s territory, from someone who's critical towards FPS games, or point things out, or someone, let's say if I really hated FPS games, like I'm a hatred person towards FPS games. I can't see someone who hates FPS game giving this game anything lower than an 8. And if they do, they're probably lying, because then they're not looking at every factor, everything, line bars, health indicators, perks, demon capabilities, summoning. All these things have to be factored in. I'm playing on ultra violent because this is an evaluation. The typical Dark Souls type mode you would play this on is Nightmare or Ultra Nightmare. Like if you want Dark Souls type gameplay of high difficulty. This is just for evaluation, so I'm playing this on ultra violent, just to evaluate it. Typically, I don't have to do that at all. Just to evaluate it, I don't even need to have it on ultra violent. I could just have it on. What the hell is going on here? Oh yeah, I remember taking a point off for this. That he constantly misses sometimes, even though you're actually aiming at the thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing. Putting the game on easy mode and then doing a proper evaluation, because you don't need to have it on ultra violent to do an evaluation if you're assessing the entire game and everything in the game. But the problem with easy mode, baby mode, is the enemies die too easy on baby mode. So you can't really assess the game at an enjoyment factor, at a difficult factor, as a perk factor with regards to your capabilities. For instance, if I have all these perks in the game to make me stronger, it doesn't really work that much if you have it on the easy mode, because you will always win easy. You have to test a game to its quality on a more difficult mode to see if the perks are good and they're worth it for the difficult mode you're fighting on, because those same perks are going to be used in both easy mode and super difficult mode, which is Ultra Nightmare. So you need to find the midpoint to test those perks. You can't test the perks on easy mode, because because you will always win. Yeah, that's why I don't play, when I evaluate any games, I don't play them on easy mode to evaluate them, because all games have perks and capabilities and customization and so on and so forth, and you cannot test whether something is functional in higher difficulties if you always play it on easy mode. Trust me, I would rather play this game on baby mode if I could test and evaluate how difficult an Arachnotron hits, or how well my freeze bomb works on Arachnotron with regards to the delay time for which they would unfreeze themselves on difficulty. And you can't do that if you're playing baby mode, because higher difficulty equals less duration time for them to be frozen. You have to test your perk system, which is this. How long can they stay frozen on your highest difficulty? So if you put it on Ultra Nightmare and they stay long for like 10 seconds on Ultra Nightmare, then you have a good assessment on how long they're going to stay frozen on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. On Ultra Nightmare, they'll probably stay frozen for like 5 seconds, and on Nightmare, they'll probably be frozen for like 7 or 8 seconds. And on, Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. Ultra Nightmare, they'll probably be frozen for like 5 seconds, and Nightmare, they'll probably be frozen for like 7 seconds. And on Ultra Violent, they'll probably be frozen for like 10 seconds, which they do, because I've checked it. And in baby mode, they'll probably be frozen for like almost 30 seconds or 20 seconds, which means you could stand in front of them and wait for them to be unfrozen. So yeah, the only proper way to evaluate this game is to put it on Ultra Violent, and then since Ultra Violent is the midpoint between Hurt Me Plenty and I'm Too Young to Die. I don't know what the hell. Yeah, if you have all the upgrades, that's cool. So far, got all the upgrades for Sticky. I simply have to unlock this, which is full auto. Unlock that. Unlock that. See, this is why this is my first playthrough. Because there's still, even after I beat the game, there's still going to be mods I will have to get to unlock those. So I'm not on New Game Plus anything. I'm just first starting the game. And I've done a decent amount of exploration. I would say with regards to this game, they hide some of the items pretty well. Does it matter how old I am? Unless you're looking to listen to children. This channel isn't for children. So it shouldn't matter how old I am. I'm an adult, so my age doesn't matter. Unless you're concerned that I'm an old geezer or something, or a child. Specifically, I made this channel not for kids. So if anyone says, and I made this channel so I could say what I want without worrying about any young people hearing things they don't want to hear. The American skins, yeah, I believe I have one of the cool skins. I believe I have a hot dog skin. I don't know. Alright, so let me concentrate and see where I gotta go, because it looks like I'm stuck here. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not stuck.
For the icon of sin grows more powerful the longer it is on Earth. Insert Vega to activate the portal.
System acquired. Setting a course for the Earth dimension now.
I can see now. Am I the father of Abe?
You must get the other teleporter rings aligned before it's too late. The gate must be reactivated. The longer the icon of Sin is on Earth, the stronger he will become.
It's thick. It's thick. So many enemies. It's thick as hell. Like what? Insane. I wouldn't be surprised if Marauders show up to the party. Christ almighty. We like constant spawning of... Okay, so first thing I'll do is take care of that damn sword. So you stop spawning them. Second, then I'll take out the enemies. Jesus Christ. They don't even give me a chance. They're like, I think I should just stick to like 2 weapons. Forget the switch offs. Bastard. What the hell? What was that all about? He just died on his own? Did he overheat or something? That doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna have to... Okay, so I was 8.4, 8.335. There's no way that enemy just dies on his own. Unless something I cast on him, the duration period, doesn't make sense. He just died. Unless his own weapon hurt himself. Yeah, that's not good. It's good for me because I get to survive, but him just dying just like that, just fall to the floor. Just fall to the floor for no reason. That doesn't make sense. I'll have to read up his dossier, for which, if it says rocket launcher missiles, so he's actually hurting himself every time. So the best way to take out the Crucible Knight, or the Demon Knight, that's what I believe he's called, is to use your Crucible Sword, or to let the dumbass keep firing his rocket launchers at close range. Duck and weave, bob and weave behind walls, because half of his stuff is going to hit here, and the other half is going to, like, say, hit this bubble and hit him. So he ended up killing himself with his own rockets. What a moron. So I might have to end it here, because I already did an hour with the PlayStation 1, and then I got to this, which is another hour. So that's about 2 hours. I put in about 2 hours for Doom. Most 2.5 hours. So I'm going to see how this goes. If it's the next cutscene, I'll accept it. But if it's another fight, I'll leave that for another day. Maybe Thursday. Thursday I'll probably play this again. And I cannot go back to my fortress, my ship, but I have 2 batteries, so I might have to wait till this mission is over. So I definitely might have to wait until Thursday for the mission to be over to get back to my ship. Nope, it's not open. So might have to unlock this one too. What the hell? Where am I? Where am... Okay, there's a hook. Yeah, this seems like more traversal. I'm gonna continue this to Thursday, because if there's another area to unlock with more fighting before I get to the Icon of Sin, or even another area to fight after that, that's gonna be quite boring. So I already did all the fighting. Lock this area, that area, that area, that area, that area, and the only one left is that area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 areas. Yeah, I'm done for today. More like 5. So yeah, I'm done for today. No more traversing and looking around and all that. I'll continue this on Thursday. The PlayStation one, that fight was pretty hard too, just like today's one. So it's getting progressively harder. So I should give it back that point. As in with regards to ultraviolent, it is ultraviolent, but it's also progressively getting harder ultraviolent. So it's like it's starting you off at ultraviolent, but slowly but surely it's moving up to nightmare towards the end. So I believe the last 25% of this game I might be actually playing on nightmare mode. Like if we're doing things with regards to acceleration and increase of difficulty per levels as you're playing the game from beginning to end, I might be on nightmare mode right now at this moment. So that's it. I'll call it a day for right now.